Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in this market or to just learn from the market. But first, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. If you could please like, share, comment, subscribe, y'all, because we learn and we grow together. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at Tesla, and y'all know I say so often, Tesla does what Tesla does, right? We closed at 326.43, only to hit a pre-market low here of 318.25. Now, what's interesting about Tesla is something stopped us here at this 318.85. I need to remember that. Why? Because there's a strong possibility that we come back to that area again. It is a support place for us, and I needed to move that, right? So where are the trouble places back to the upside? The support area that we bounced from again was this 318.85. We came up, found another support area, which was a resistance at 320.30. So as of now, that is what's holding us up. Trouble places are right now, we just got rejected or getting rejected here at this 322.14. Something stopped us there. We need to remember that, which is kind of like the low of this candle. So continuing to the upside, we could possibly have trouble again, 322.04. Breaking that brings us back to where the 20 EMA, 322.14. If we should break that area, 322.84 could be a rejection area for Tesla. And breaking that, we could possibly have trouble at this 50 EMA. As of now, 323.76. Breaking that brings us back to 324.52. And if we should break that, y'all see the ATR trailing stop and a few layers of resistance is kind of gathered together here. So I'm going to say that 325.11 could be a strong resistance area for Tesla. Should we break that, we could very well have trouble again, 325.66. And breaking that brings us back to around this level here, say 326.91, and breaking that, we could possibly have trouble 327.32. And if we should break that, 328.35, and if we break that level here at 329.42. So if you're trading Tesla today, those are possible areas of rejection or possible trouble places. Now, losing this area of support here at 318.85, we could very well come back to around this level, 317.61. If we break that, we can come back to the area of 315.43, find support. Breaking that, we can come back to around 312.57. Keep in mind, there's a big jump from here to here. We could very well get stopped out anywhere in between. So from this 315 area down to this 312 area, we can get stopped out. To continuing to the downside under the 312 area, 311.50, and again here 310.07. Breaking that brings us back to 308.47. So if you are trading Tesla today, again, those are possible areas to the upside and to the downside. Again, y'all, not financial advice. So we are now looking at the SPY. We closed at 601.36. It is trading in a gathering spot, as I like to see, or as I like to say. As you can see here, 597.69 is a support area for us. We've been here for, that would be the support. Resistance is possibly this area here, 598.98. So we're kind of been trading in this zone here. So is it setting us up for a move up or a move down? That is the question, right? I always say trade what you see. Where are the trouble places to the upside? Breaking above the 598.98, we could possibly have trouble. 599.50. There's a few layers of resistance here, one being the 200 EMA at that 599.69 for the SPY, so I would definitely watch that area. Now, if we should break that, we could possibly have trouble $600.14. I remember that, and that's kind of close to where that 50 EMA is as of now at that $600.07. So that's going to be a resistance or rejection area, possible rejection area for us. Breaking that $600.38, and if we break that $600.98, if we should break that, y'all see the ATR trail and stop is right here where a line that we had marked as simple support and resistance, y'all, 601.40 could be a rejection area for us for the SPY. And if we break that 601.77, breaking that 602.07, and if we should break that, it brings us back around to this area here around 602.37. And again, y'all, I look at support and resistance on a smaller scale. Why? Because when I'm in the trade, I kind of want to know where my possible trouble places are. So let's see if we can get down to, okay, there we are. Well, that was a little, okay. So continuing to the downside for the SPY, let's say, but we break back under this level here, which is around the 598.29. We could possibly have trouble 598.04. Again, 597.69. Breaking that, there is a big distance from here down to the next level I have marked, which is around the 596.71. So from this 597.59 or 597.63 all the way down to the 596.71 for the SPY, we could very well get stopped out here. So trade carefully if that's something that you trade. Now continuing to the downside, 596.45 is a support area, and again 595.97, breaking that area 595.72. If we should break that, we can come back to around 595.32. And here again at 595.16, should we break that 594.96. Now breaking that 594.96 for the SPY, the next level I have marked here is 594.17. And keep in mind, again, we can get stopped out here. So if the SPY is something that you trade today, I say trade carefully, y'all. In this market, anything is possible. We are now looking at Meta. We closed at 694.14, and as you can see, it has found support at a level that we have marked here. So support is around 687.53. Resistance around the 690.80 area. And it looks like we're trying to break beyond that. But we knew we could possibly have trouble around the 691.20. So that is our rejection area as of now. 691.33 is a 20 EMA. So should we break beyond that, we could possibly have trouble 692.34. And if we should break that, I have the 200 EMA around the 693.50 area. Should we break that, 694.21, and if we break that area, the ATR trail and stop around the 694.63. And as you can see for Meta, there's a few layers of resistance here. So breaking this, we could, and this and this. That means we've broken through a few layers of resistance, but we still have this area here of 695.25. So if we break the 695.25 for Meta today, we could possibly come back to around the 696.02 and possibly have trouble breaking that. Brings us back to this area of 697.53. And if we break that 698.27, 699.51, and here at $700.99. So if you're trading Meta today, those are possible areas to the upside. Now let's look to the downside. If by chance we break this zone that we were trading in, which is here, the 688.16, we could possibly have trouble again. 685. That's 685.28, breaking that 683.96, 682.86, 681.46, and breaking that brings us back to around 679.85. Should we break that, 677.96 could be a support area for Meta. So if that is something that you trade today, y'all know I say trade carefully, mark your levels, and once it goes against your why, get out, right? So we are now looking at NVDA. We closed at 142.83, and as you can see, we came here, bounced off of a support area which was around the 140.56. Now back to the upside, where are the trouble places? We're getting rejected here at this 141.50. Keep in mind this candle has not closed. So where are the trouble places? As of now, 141.64 is right where that 20 EMA is as of now, and a level that we have marked here. So 141.64 is a rejection area or possible rejection area. 141.88 again at 142.08, breaking that 142.22. Now breaking that brings us back to the next level I have marked at 142.41. But as you can see, that's where the 50 EMA is, the 200 EMA, and the ATR trail and stop in this level of, you know, the 142.42. So in my opinion, NVIDIA has a lot of resistance at this 142.40 area. Now, should we break that, we could very well come back to 142.71. Breaking that brings us back to 142.90. And if we should break that area, we could possibly have trouble somewhere around the 143.26 and again 143.63. So if you are trading NVIDIA today, those are possible areas to the upside. Now let's look to the downside. If by chance we break back under, let's say, this level 141.17, we could possibly have trouble again 140.92. Breaking that brings us back to 140.68, and should we break that, we could possibly have trouble 140.38. Breaking that brings us back to around 140.08, and if we break that level 139.72, again 139.58, 139.29, and again down here at 139.12. Under that brings us back to around the 138.82. So if you are trading NVIDIA today, those are possible areas to the upside and to the downside. Again, not financial advice. Let's look at AMD today just to see where we are. We closed at 121.14, and it looks as if we bounced off of a level of support around the 119.87. So I kind of need to remember this area here because price bounced from there. Okay, so trouble places for AMD as of now, that 200 EMA, y'all see it's right there at a line that we have at 120.68. I just like to see that, y'all. Simple and just support and resistance, right? So breaking this level brings us back to around the 120.91, not far from this 20 EMA, around the 120.95 area. Should we break that, we could possibly have trouble 121.12. Breaking that brings us back to around the 121.43. We could possibly have trouble there. And should we break that, y'all see that 50 EMA is right there at an area that we have right here at 121.46. If we should break that, we have the ATR trailing stop 121.66, and again here at 121.73. So there's a few layers of resistance for AMD right here. Now if we break the 121.73, we could very well come back to the 121.96 area, breaking that 122.19 and 122.34. Breaking that brings us back to 122.64 and again 122.90. Those are possible rejection areas for AMD as of now. Now back to the downside. Let's say we lose this area of support that was holding us up here at 119.89, at 119.73, which is the low of this candle. Something stopped us here. Breaking that brings us back to 119.37, 119.03, 118.66, and again here at 118.25, 117.89, 117.59, 117.38. Those are possible support places for AMD as of right now. If we lose this area of 117.38, we can come back to 116.81. So if that is something that you trade today, y'all know I just say trade carefully in this market, y'all. There's so many ways to trade the market, and what's challenging is trying to figure out what strategy works best for you and for us to have the discipline to execute that. So again, I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very, very productive day. This is what I see when I look at the market, y'all. So with that being said, be blessed today as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.